balanced overnight inventory. Here's the close. Half of it's above, half of it's below. It's very balanced. Okay, we are probably going to open in value. This is our value area low. Is 303. Time point of control is 04 half. Volume point of control is 08 3/4. Value area high is 3010. So opening in value in range means chop and rotation. Just what everybody wanted to hear. So if we have rotation and we have a technical day, we will look to play the edges of value. First of all, we're going to see if we open up in value, which we're just a couple of ticks away from it. Then we'll see if we can just play the rotations in value, which means shorting value area high, buying value area low, right? The initial order flow might be extremely choppy and very untradeable. Okay, Amazon missed its earnings, so we will have some sort of drag because of that. Looking for a bit of a mixed back and forth session. I think there are only 57 companies reporting earnings today. So next week is our big week. Next week we have the Fed. We have a lot of companies reporting earnings, and we also have month end. So we will be looking for all of those situations. And usually after the Fed, we'll get a little bit more volatility and with earnings coming in. So today I will be looking for chop back and forth, opening in balance, in value. Right? We might be getting an inside day. And an inside day is a day where the entire range of the price action is inside the previous day's range. So we'll look for that. Here's our T+2 day, which is 2 days away. You can notice it has a very prominent point of control. You can notice it has not been traded through. So if we do get down here, we will look to take out yesterday's high and see if we can actually touch this. So we have some references from 2 days ago that are valid, like the low of value and the low of the day, of course. And of course, this spike going down in a period. Anybody have any questions about this week or what went on this week? If we take a look at the weeks that we've had here, and the sessions that we've had, you can see where value is. And it's slowly creeping higher. So today we're going to see if we can stay above. First of all, this 29.94 to 92 area, where the bulk of value seems to be. And this is just a large balance range. Remember, we still have a gap from here to here, just a small gap. And then of course we have our large gap from 29.48 down to 29, up to 29.61 half. So there's a gap here, and then there's a gap here. Those are still unfilled. Yeah, it's it's hard to say what a market's going to do based upon what it did last year. Because the agendas and those sorts of things are, it's a year later. We've already had a massive sell-off, a couple of them, where the market's been cleaned out quite a bit. We have these areas that have not traded. I will look today. This is 3004, that level here. And I'm looking to get acceptance over 304 and a half. Pre-market doesn't look like it's going to happen. Good question. Honestly, I don't know. I do see Amazon. What are they trading at now? 1684. Honestly, I do not know. I'm not sure how much of the S&P Amazon. It did drop an N a little bit, but not insanely significant. I mean, futures are dropping here pre-market. We're going to go test 3,000. I don't know what Amazon is weighted in the S&P. Oh, someone's keeping track. 5th time at 3K. Good stuff. Yeah, we're definitely back and forth over 3,000. I mean, it makes sense, right? Right. I mean, you guys are thinking about, you're putting everything into context, right? I mean, we do have a Fed meeting coming up, right? Earnings are digesting. So everybody think if, you were managing 500 million, $800 million, wouldn't you sort of wait? 3% of the S&P. Okay. I mean, it's down, a good bit, but it is a $1,700 stock, $1,600 stock. I'm sure there'll be a buyer later on this afternoon for it. You know, what's the institutional ownership of Amazon? You guys know? Let's take a quick look, shall we? It's only 400 million shares in the float, and it's 57% owned by institutions. So 60% of that stock is institutionally owned. So we went through and plunged through 3,000, Optimism, responsive buying before the open. It's hard on phone to keep up with a desktop. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Okay. You guys hearing somebody off? Somebody's not muted. Sorry, let me find out. I got a really bad echo here. Yeah, someone else is on voice. How do I tell? How do I tell? Got it? Okay, thank you. Okay, what were we talking about here? Passive and dynamic traders in Globex. Okay, when you see a price move and you see a sort of exaggerated price move, that would be dynamic traders. Okay. Think of it like you had a big account, right? Most of you guys have never worked in the industry, so like as Mark Douglas says, you've never bid up a stock, or bid up a market, and you bid markets up or offer them lower to try and push them around. So when you see a large move like that, it will be a larger trader or a larger capital pool pushing price down. And that will cause, especially in Globex, because the market is thin and it's not as liquid. I mean, look at the volume coming into this morning. It is 128,000 contracts. We had very, very light Globex volume, so it wouldn't take much to push it around. So if a trader had conviction, right? If you had a large conviction, right? Knowing that something was going to happen. For example, if you were a trader and you knew Amazon was going to miss their earnings, and you had the ability to push Globex up so you could short the market overnight, knowing that it would fall in the morning, right? Those are sorts of instances, right? Unfortunately, when larger traders get into the market, especially in Globex, like they don't have a sign on their head saying, big trader pushing market coming in. You'll see it by the way the market reacts. Have you seen like sort of a violent price move in Globex when it just gets really banged down? Chad, have you ever noticed that? That's a dynamic trader. And then we react to it. That's as simple as it is. We are reactionary traders. Yeah, big lots hitting the market. You'll see size, right? Another thing you'll see is, say, we get too short in Globex, right? They're pushing down, right? A large size trader will recognize that and they'll sit there and they'll absorb as much of the selling as they can on the bid. And then you'll see them sweep the offers. You'll see all the offers just get cleaned out and the price race back up. That's a sign of dynamic trading. Ben, I hear a lot of people talk about seeing that happen on the DOM when it happens, but I gotta call BS on that. Honestly, I do not. Yeah, this depth of market thing, and it's become a big marketing tool, right? If you'll notice, the depth of market that I have is very different than the depth of market that the Sierra comes with standard, right? Yeah, I don't. There's a reason I don't teach footprint lowercase is because when people are staring at the footprint, they lose a lot and they don't see trade location. They're trying to trade off what they call a quote unquote imbalance. And I don't recommend doing that. Yeah, there are signs in order flow, but you're going to have to spend 5 years learning how order flow is actually processed before you understand it. Then you're going to have to spend 5 years staring at this depth of market to be able to actually understand what's happening when it lays itself out. So, I don't try and knock anybody, but there are a lot of people who say that they're order flow traders who read the DOM and they read this and they read the footprint chart. And honestly, I've worked with a couple of them and they're mostly full of BS because their trading results aren't that great. I hate to say it, but I've got to be honest. People I know, I've never met anyone who's consistently profitable who uses a footprint chart, right? They make a big deal about it. They might build a nice, pretty looking chart, but they're not consistent because they have no clue where the hell trade location is, right? How are you going to get good trade location from this? Good luck, right? And then they make up their own lingo, like bids are lifting and offers are stuffing and people are soaking the bid and all this sorts of nonsense that if you actually said that on a trade desk, you'd get a shot in the head, right? Like literally, if you talk the way some of these retail guys do on a trade desk, I would literally get up and punch you in the head. And so there's a lot of silly nonsense that you hear in retail trading. And that's because, we live in a Twitter society and everybody has to be polite and everything like that. But if you pulled some of this crap on a trade desk, you'd literally get the what kicked out of you, right? Because that has no place on it, right? A lot of this stuff is subject to interpretation, and it's not quantifiable and it's not repeatable, right? and you guys are looking for consistency in trading, right? There's only one way to get consistent in trading is to actually have an edge that you can depend on, right? With a high probability over a number of different trades, right? So, a footprint chart, there's nothing wrong with using a footprint chart if you want to check and see if the offers are getting swept. You can do the same thing, right? Yeah. I mean, I lived on desks, and I've never seen anyone use a footprint chart, you know, right? And I don't know if you worked in prop. I did mostly market making and institutional. So I've never actually worked on a prop desk, and I know prop guys will use all sorts of different things because basically prop traders are basically retail traders using somebody else's money, right? At most of the prop firms, unless you work prop at Goldman or you work prop at Morgan Stanley or one of the big firms, you're basically a retail trader using OPM, other people's money. And that's cool. Nothing against those guys, right? But I've never spent much time on a proprietary trading desk. But I know I've sat in Goldman Sachs. I've sat in all the major market making firms on their trading floors because I used to do business with them. I used to give them business. And I've never seen any of this stuff. I never saw a TPO chart until 5 years ago, right? 5, 6 years ago. Yeah. So, that was one thing. Um, so that's what I mean. That's sort of a little rant for the morning, because there are people out there that'll sell you a trading DOM for $300, right? When you don't need it, and they say, oh, it's order flow trading and all of this sort of thing, and it's marketing, right? Here's the deal. This is going to take time. It's going to take a little time. It's going to get, you're going to have to sit and watch price action for a while, right? And that's not such a bad thing, right? Volume, TPO, even people who use candlestick charts, their technical analysis works. People use it, right? Just because I haven't spent the time and put in the work to make it work doesn't mean it's wrong, right? And I just find this easier for myself, right? But all of that stuff, like, they will look at, you know, all of that stuff, like, that's for trade location, right? I don't know. How do you identify a pattern in a depth of market? It's just an order book, right? Where's there a pattern, right? It's full of spoofing, right? It's 302.02 half now. If I wanted to move this market up, I'd go stick 2,000 contracts on the bid at 01 half, and everybody would think as a big buyer and start running it market up, right? And here's the thing, right? Any large trader that comes into a market, they're not going to show you their hand. They're not going to put market buy 2 billion contracts, right? So when you see large size on an order book, that should immediately make you suspicious, right? That someone's trying to fool around with the market. If you see a big bid, they're pushing the market up so they can short it. Yeah, I've tried to trade it on a 5-minute chart. No dice. Yeah, I wish I knew how to play cards. Yeah, that was that poor guy in England. What's his name? Nav, right? He was just a scapegoat. They always get one sacrificial lamb, right? After a whole industry has gone and stolen billions and billions, they always nail one poor schmuck for a couple of $1 million, right? Just so everybody feels better. So we looked down to 3,000 after my rant of useless order flow tools, stupid language. We looked down to 3,000, obviously rejected, tagged the overnight low to the tick, couldn't break it, found some responsive buying. Now, what I'm curious is, are we going to open this Magilla in or out of value? So let's see where we open. I'm expecting a little bit of chop. Hey, maybe we should sell a Dom, Steve? JJ's Magic Dom. Chad, I don't know how to do that. I'm sure, hey, we've got some candlestick people in here who are like dyed in the wool, been doing it for years. They might be able to help you out. There's some pretty sharp dudes in this and ladies in this room, so. You'll have to excuse my loosey-goosey behavior. I'm kind of hopped up on some cold medicine. Ooh, speaking of which, I better check in with 3-tick. See if he's awake. Yeah, you can have candlesticks on Sierra. Look, even I have them. Oh, rats. Yeah, I was off by a tick. So we opened at 301 half. Thanks, Davis. Just what I need. No, I just some Advil cold inside us. That's all I'm on. It might explain my erratic behavior this morning. Don't worry, I won't call out any crazy trades. Okay, so we have a little bit of a strong open. Even though the breadth is negative, we opened and went one tick below it. Little back and forth through value. You guys are starting to recognize how price behaves now, right? So we're in value. So now we're in for some beautiful chop, right? Chop salad, in and out of value, back and forth. I'm very curious to see if we can get up and over the time point of control. There's value area low. You see, when you have price, when it gets caught up, remember how I'm always droning on about how price acts at a very visual reference. Right now, not much, Craig, right? I'll look to see if there's a taper when we go down. Here's one thing I missed yesterday, guys. Take your attention away from it. What did I miss? Look at the high yesterday. Look how many contracts printed. There's importance, Craig, right? 2 at the high, right? Like if you're long, right, and you see 2 contracts print there, my buddy Odds has a patented saying, get the F out. That's the GTFO print. Get out. There's no more buyers there. That's what I missed yesterday. So that's when you pay attention to volume. Does that help, Craig? I'll look and see where the volume point of control slides around, and that kind of tells me, it helps me with inventory a little bit. And like I was saying, how is price acting when it gets the close? Everybody knows where the close is, right? See, that's the thing, Cyborg. Every data service shows a different number of contracts. That's one thing I don't like about futures. Oh, it's not. For some reason, there's differences in data. Whereas the New York Stock Exchange, there's just one. You know, this much traded at this price. Dino, I don't know. I have noticed that my data feed from CQG and Peter Resnick's data feed that he uses on Window Trader for things like that are similar. Okay. Let me look at his pre-market thingamajig and see what his TPO chart shows for yesterday. So we're at halfback of the overnight. We're over 304.5. I want to see if we can stay up there. Yeah, see, his is showing 1400 too. That's weird. So we get a little bit of responsive selling right at the half of yesterday. We call it half back. So as we probably, we guessed early in the morning, it's going to be technical traders in the market today. For people who are new to the room, Sierra chart shows the half of the range as the white letter. There. People who are brand new, each of these letters is a half-hour period. These are the overnights. This is the day from the previous day. And this is the value area where 70% of the volume from yesterday traded. This is the time point of control where we had 11 half-hour periods. Spent time at this price. And here's where the volume point of control is. 70% of the volume of this area traded. Right back to the half back. So once again, we opened outside value, back in. What I'm looking for is if we can get to the overnight high and test the top of value. Excuse me. Now, people want trades, right? And here's something interesting. When we look at the gas bar, let me double check. Aha, you're right, Gaspar, you caught it again. Stupid software is doing this when I get rid of the day and night sessions. Thanks, Gaspar. Yeah, you're right. We front ran Halfback. I'm sorry, folks. Gaspar pointed out I am having a problem with my data when I have this exclude evening session profiles to kind of make the chart less jammed up. It moves some references just a few ticks. You're having that too, Ben? Okay. Okay, good to know. I'm going to talk to Sierra about it if I can ever get a hold of them. Right. When you click this, you just try and get rid of these overnight sessions that you don't really need to see. But it seems to affect the data. Here we got 2 ticks of a change in data. So now we're over Halfback. Now, people who I've been noticing people going, okay, JJ, where's the trade, right? You know, and if you ask Jim Dalton where's the trade, he snaps at you. But I won't, because I know people have expectations. Okay, right? I understand. If you are a fast trader, right? Once you are doing this for a while, right? And I don't recommend this for new people because they don't know what the hell's going on yet. And you have to be up and you have to be ready to execute right away. When you see a market open and drive the way it has, you get long. Okay. This right here that we couldn't get down to 3,000, we couldn't tag the overnight low. We could go only 1 tick under the open. It takes a while to develop that skill, but a lot of faster traders would get long in here, right? Or definitely wait until we get back into value to get long, right? And a structural trade would be from value to the point of control or from the open to the point of control because it's 11 wide. Okay, now that is not a trade I recommend for a new trader because it's hard to tell when a market opens, right? After a while, you start looking and you're going, oh, even though the breath was negative when we opened and it wasn't, you know, you don't really know what's going to happen. Yes. Yeah. Mac, big money, they don't care about halfback, right? I didn't even know what halfback was until I met Jim Dalton. Didn't even know what it was. I never even looked at candlestick charts. You know, I would look every once in a while because like there'd be some joker on the desk going, "Oh, look, there's a cup and handle" or something like that, and because somebody had been reading a technical analysis book because they couldn't get a date the night before, so they'd show me and they'd show all the other guys on the desk. The guys would laugh at them and go back to selling stock, right? So they don't care about any of that stuff. You know what we care about? We care about VWAP, right? Volume weighted average price. That's what we work orders around, right? And that's an executing trader. So I would be like an executing trader for a hedge fund when they want to work a position in or out, right? So I don't care about any of that. I'm trying to get them the best fills, right? Exactly. Yeah, those Mark Douglas videos are gold. I don't use VWAP in retail trading, okay? But that's why my name is VWAP because the entire industry is based around VWAP. Oh, at an institutional level? Okay, George. Let me just quickly check on the market. The market's at halfback right now. Okay, George, you have a pharmaceutical company, a small cap pharmaceutical company, right? Your stock trades at $10 a share, 10 to 12 bucks a share, right? You need to raise $10 million to do something. So you put the word out that you're looking to raise 10 million bucks, right? My client is a funder, maybe a toxic funder. So he'll contact you and sniff you out and say, okay, this guy, he knows how to run a company, he doesn't really know much about the market. Then he calls me up and he goes, hey, JJ, ABCD Pharmaceuticals, right? Go hit it out a bit, right? Go play with it. So I'll get in the market. I'll see who the market makers are, right? I'll see where the buying comes from, where the selling comes from. I'll report back to my client. He goes, okay, start hitting it, right? So I'll start shorting that stock, your company, say it's at 11 and a half bucks. I'll start banging it down, right? People see a new seller in the market, and all of a sudden, the drying will buy up. And what I'll do is I'll go and I'll hold that stock down, maybe to $6 or so, right? The drying will buy up. If I start banging on the bids, the drying will buy up. Trust me, if I start trust me, if I start beating up a stock, you will not be inclined to buy it. Okay? Right? So I'll start playing with it. We'll sort of weasel it down to $6. Then my client will come to George and he'll go, look, I'll give you $10 million, but I'll give you $10 million at a 30% discount to 14-day VWAP. That's what VWAP is for, right? So say your 14-day VWAP is between, I don't know, $6 and $7. You're giving my client a 30% discount to say $6.50, right? So then we cover our short, you get your money, and then we start manipulating the stock up. And then that's how we start making money, right? You'll look and see that last night BNB Paribas got fined $14 million for anti-money laundering snafus. They let $230 billion go through that bank, and a whole bunch of it was with toxic penny stock stuff. It doesn't sound legal, Ben. It is legal, and it is very, very fruitful and a lot of fun. If it wasn't legal, everybody in the business wouldn't do it. Okay, that doesn't make any sense, lowercase. Always remember when you're buying this, that's why I tell people, watch out for these lower price stocks, because when you're buying a stock at 5-10 bucks, I've got it way cheaper and I'm selling it to you, right? So you better make darn sure you've got good trade location and you've got your research done. We made money on the short because you gave us stock to cover the short. That's what you're learning in school, Gaspar? That's hilarious. Okay, so folks, back to the market really quickly. Sorry about that. Please tell me if these stories are unusually boring. Halfback, once again, a little bit of responsive selling, but our volume point of control is moved up here. Okay. We're getting acceptance in yesterday's value. And if we can get over halfback, I will definitely be looking at the overnight high. But so far we have an inside day. Yeah, that's why VWAP is important. And if you're working an order, say if you want me to work out 1 million shares of Facebook, I'll try, which means sell. I'll try and get you prices better than VWAP on the day. So you call me tomorrow with the next order, right? I find it hard to trade off of it in a retail sense for trade location. Don't get me wrong, I tried, and I was maybe 40% successful. It's DLA today. We're expecting weakness, right? Not much follow through. We're expecting indecision, right? Balance. It's an inside day. We are inside the range of yesterday, inside the value, right? Yeah, Ben, what I'm doing is I'm shorting the stock down, and when George gives me the stock in the financing, that covers my short. You know how I always say I know how to hide a short position for a year? It's because of stuff like that. And I must say, shout out to Rhino Advisors for teaching me how to hide a short position.
Yo, shout out to Rhino Investment Group.
Rhino
Ooh.
Advisors.
Yeah.
Hey, they're
Hey.
very alive and well.
Oh yeah. You know me.
So, dropping off your son, picking up
What?
moms.
I sound sick? What is that? What is that supposed to mean? I'm I'm really healthy. No. No, go get your ears checked out.
You do sound a little stuffed up.
Oh, do I really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ben, yeah, I know George is going to give me the stock because he needs that $10 million, right? Because George is CEO of a pharmaceutical company and he has a Lexus payment or a Mercedes payment that's due and he has people to pay, right? And he's got a wife that's 20 years younger. That's his second wife who has a very expensive purse and shoe habit,
Mm.
right? So he is going to give me that stock because guess what? Paper's only 10 cents a pound and we're over half back. It's only paper. For him, it's nothing. Over half back. Here comes that volume point of control. See, this is why retail trading was so hard for me. Because the way to make money in the old days is find a good criminal who can move paper and buy his stock at a discount and just sit and wait. And when he starts the party, you sell into it. It's really not rocket science. This is a lot harder. I give retail traders a lot of more credit, because we always had the fix. The fix was in, right? We're not paying retail for stock. Most of the time, we don't even pay for stock. We get it for free. Trading futures is way harder. People would give me 1 million shares of stock just for watching their market to make sure nobody raped them. You know, I had public companies pay me 20 grand a month just to sit and look at my screen and give them a report at the end of the day of who bought and who sold. So this is a lot harder. So I give a lot of credit to retail traders, especially for wanting to learn this because, you know, this is way harder. I had a quintuple bypass and I had a massive heart attack in a quintuple bypass because it's quite serious. It's quite stressful. That's okay. Best thing that ever happened to me. It's safer, you know. I like the challenge of trading. Every day is different. I was having really good trades about till 2 weeks ago. Now my trades are, I have to think about things a little bit more, right? Makes the old, you got to work the old head a little bit. So nobody really wants to sell today, it seems. So Ray, in case you missed it, we have an inside day.
Mm-hmm.
where we had a drive off the open. Right. Here's something that's kind of interesting. You notice how the market sold off before the open, about an hour before the open? And then as soon as we opened, straight up. I mean, it's taken half an hour to get up here, but sometimes you will see a move like this, right? A move, a push down, right? Even when inventory is balanced, I've been noticing this happening when they push, they get a market up overnight, get it a little bit long, and then they flush it. And as soon as they take this overhang of the overnight out, you get a corrective move to the upside. And he got Robin Hooded yesterday. Okay, volume POC, one tick over, responsive selling. And folks, this is why I use both the volume and the time point of control, because they are responsive on inside days. So for traders who had taken a long position from the volume point of control to halfback, or halfback up to, I mean, from time to halfback, or halfback up to volume. Sorry, I can hear Ray in his oatmeal.
Sorry, I'll keep it down, boss.
Yeah, you know what? I don't argue with him. That's his thing. I learned this whole thing from him, and if he doesn't want to use volume, I'm cool with that. Right? I tend to use it because Peter Resnicek uses it, and I learned that from him. So, because I respect both of them, I've learned to use both. Nice. Nice, Chad. Good stuff.
Took a. Isn't yesterday's halfback higher than overnight halfback, or am I
Oh,
missing
maybe
some?
he zigged when he should have zagged. I get the gist of what he's talking about, though.
Did he mean like it in the reverse order? So I'm just how can you take a long from?
Probably means overnight halfback to halfback.
Okay.
It's okay. It's Friday. It's been a long week. This price action has dulled my brain. All right. Volume point of control. The excitement never ends. There it is. It is helpful, when you get to actually see how the price reacts at every single reference. Yeah. Boy, isn't this exciting. Yes. Yeah, and you can see it with your software here, Blair, right? Because I use Peter's numbers too, and they're very similar. Value area high, my volume point of control, and value area low. Sorry, it's right here. What were his numbers? Oh, they put it out on the swing trader. Yeah, so they have value area high as 30.10 and a quarter. I have it at a half. And they've got the volume pointer control at 0.8 and 3/4. And value area low at 0.275. Pretty close. When I started out with Peter. And so I always used volume for value. I never even looked at the time point of control until I started watching Dalton videos. And then I started noticing that that time point of control is really responsive, right? Peter looks at both, right? And what we're talking about, folks, is Shadow Trader versus Jim Dalton. I mean, so we all learned from Dalton because he's the one who popularized market profile. And then Shadow Trader put his own take on it, and I kind of used both of theirs. You know, whatever works, right? I don't discriminate. For me, they're all just tools, right? You know, it's a Phillips head or a flathead screwdriver. I don't care as long as it works. So we are in range, in value. B period opens up. A little bit of a drive.
Why are you yelling, Gappa? Why is he tone it down, man?
He just has the caps lock. He has the caps lock on.
No, I'm just messing, man.
Who's the world's richest man now? Not that it even matters. Bill Gates? Okay. Well, it's all still in Washington State, eh?
He lives in Washington?
Yes.
Why?
Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos.
Both of them?
Yes.
Wow.
I met Jeff Bezos in a bookstore in Seattle in 1997.
Hmm. How was that experience?
He's a really nice guy. He was
Um,
very down to earth.
I mean, that's just when Amazon was starting, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Really down to earth, nice guy. We got a poor high, Gaspar. Should have gotten a business card. I've never met Bill Gates, though. Double top, A and B. Paper hangs on Amazon. You got it. That was interesting because he was on a trade desk too before he started Amazon. I think he was at First Boston or one of the brokerage firms there. I don't know. I love Seattle. Nice people. Too much rain though. Oh, the week of the double tops, eh, folks? Jeez.
Short it? Is that what you're saying? We should probably short it, right?
Well, the degenerate in me wants to sell it right away. We've been doing this all week. Double top, double top, double tops everywhere.
Now they're gonna front run it, Gappa. I don't know. It's still like a little like
We have
still too.
246,000 contracts. There's no volume. I don't know. I think it's about the same amount of rain, Dino. I lived in Vancouver for 26 years. I might take London over Vancouver.
No, you did, Chad. Fearless. I don't know. It's still scary to me to short these double tops. I know it would have been working lately, but
Yeah, but you live in a real city. There's things to do. We are not getting any love here at this double top. Guess the degenerate in me was good for at least 3 or 4 ticks. I didn't take that trade though.
well, nice one, Chad.
Oh, you live in the country.
Yeah, it's interesting how these shorts would have been, if we'd been hammering these shorts on these poor highs.
Mechanically, yeah.
Yeah, we'd be printing money.
Nice, Chad. So you took it
Yeah,
up and down, eh? Nice, nice, nice.
very nice, Chad. Very nice.
And your stops are working today, right? Good stuff.
I mean, I think I'm a believer now.
Nice.
There you go, Gappa.
Oh, cool. That looks nice.
Yeah, I could agree with that, Chad, for sure. Would probably be risky doing it again.
First time that was a nice trade. 2 good trades. Amazon's firmly over 1700 now. 1720.
What? Andy? What?
I think he's long in his Robinhood account.
What?
I'm gonna start calling him Friar Tuck pretty soon.
In his Robinhood account. It closed because my dog threw up like 2 minutes before close. Damn. Almost
Here
break
we go.
even.
We should repair this poor high. I mean, come on. And my target really is the overnight high. I'm expecting a little bit of resistance there and definitely at value area high.
What did the dog get a hold of some of your peppers in your garden? He ate a napkin. God. Oh God. You gotta love dogs. You gotta love dogs, man. Andy, next time, just got to leave the throw up on the floor, man. Another, when you're in a trade, you can't come off it. Well, I used to keep a pee bottle next to me when I played poker.
Okay. And with that, we paired the poor high.
I mean, you can call it gross. I call it dedication.
So we have a proper high, 2 ticks of excess. It didn't not even get to the overnight high. That got front run. If we cannot take out value area high,
Hmm.
that is definitely a short back to value area low in a rotational market. Okay, but if you are shorting value area high and we get down to the overnight halfback, take a little off because there are very few sellers this morning. So if you are shorting this market, and we are one time framing up now, right? If you are going to short this market, take your profits when it dips. Don't hold out for those big home runs. See what kind of order flow we got. This area right here is going to be a very interesting area for me too, because that EF double top, there was mechanical selling there. There's excess. I want to make sure and see if that excess holds if we get over value area high. Yeah, the internals aren't, they're, as they say in Saskatchewan, they're no screaming hell, but, they are positive. Right? It's just that we have a serious lack of any kind of natural selling today. Amazon's just powering itself right back up. A natural seller, Dino, is someone selling from a long position. Okay, I bought 1,000 shares of Microsoft 3 weeks ago, a month ago, 2 years ago. I'm selling it today. Oh yeah, Tesla. Over the overnight high. A couple of ticks away from value area high. Went right through it.
Whee! Hey, Andy, just you're learning how to be ambidextrous. That's all. It feels good to win. That's what feels good. Either side.
He's getting the hang of this. Interesting. It's filling some orders up here. Getting a little bit of acceptance. Let's see what we got. 32 at the top, 1300, 4900. I'm looking at the volume now. Just out of curiosity, let's see if they can get a secondary push of order flow here. Stopped one tick below that double EF top from yesterday. Some reason they're mechanically selling it right there. Let's see if they've got the oomph to get through it today. Ticks are starting to fade a little bit. Let's see if we get any follow through now. We'll look to see if the overnight high supports at all if we get into value. Ooh, sneaky, sneaky. So you guys are watching this, you can see how price is behaving, right? At a very specific reference. You can actually see how many contracts are printing above it, below it, right at it, right? This is price action. You know, you'll always hear about market generated information, MGI, and price action. And what you're watching now is price action. And there is no substitute for watching price action. Mechanical selling. Very mechanical selling. Boy, they're struggling to get it back into value. There's value area high. Automatic responsive buy. Let's see if it fills that. Printing a little underneath it. So we got 4 ticks above value. In and out of value. Very interesting. Keep going up, please. I'm expecting a little. I'm expecting a little backfilling now. You know, take a market up to sell it. Come on, sell some. So by this price action, you can notice that even though we do have a little bit of selling, it's really not that heavy. You know, it's very light-footed selling. You know, the sellers are ballet dancers. They're not, you know, clog dancers. They're not just hammering the bids out. It's very light. Right? If I was short right now, my conviction would be waning. Point of control moves right up to that M rally high. Very interesting. So volume is now confirming the move, right? So who was asking me about if I watch volume back a little while ago, right? These are things I notice, right? The point of control is moved up. So it's really slow, so you can see exactly what's printing at what level. They're really coming for it up here at 11. Interesting. Secondary push. Can we get over that EF top? One tick above. So now we are into the excess of A period from yesterday. It's okay, Andy. You got to trade both ways. And this is coming from a guy who's scared to short so much. So the fact that we're staying above value area high, this is telling me something. Usually for when you get into value and you get up to value area high, it should be a good short. It's not being a good short. Even if I was short 11, 11 and a quarter, this is not the greatest short in the world. Price is being accepted up here. Ticks are holding. Good stuff, Dino. And we are in the excess. We seem to be getting a little acceptance in the excess of yesterday. It's a nice drive. Nice trade, Dino. Way to get long. Oh, it is Friday, isn't it? We should mark up everything. So how do we react? You guys are supposed to tell me when I miss things. You just trailing your stop up, Dino? Good management. So you target the previous day high? Nice. One place you could move your stop up to is this EF top if you wanted to slide it up. Very trend-like, Gaspar.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now let's see if we can, yeah, open drive even, yeah. In slow motion. Isn't it interesting when the sellers just completely disappear? And there was nothing that happened overnight or yesterday that would indicate that inventory got way too short.
Yeah, you got to front run the front run. Front run the front run, Dino. I mean, that's not unfair to assume, right, Jay? That yesterday's high is going to get front run a little bit.
Yes, that is a very safe assumption. And dynamic traders are pushing the price up. That's very true.
I mean,
Right? It
everyone's looking
pushed.
at that. I'm sure that's everyone's like target. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was answering Craig's question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's not a question. It was a comment. Sorry. Yeah. Very nice. That was a nice drive. Great trade, you know. No, the volume sucks, Sadir. It's horrible. Right? Once again, great example of how a market doesn't really need a lot of buying to move it up if you don't have any sellers. And this is when, you know, the ES, I am sure a lot of people looked at yesterday and were thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get short." You know, but yesterday, what happened yesterday? Yesterday's value was higher than it was the previous day. You know, so always look at that. If you just look at a simple chart, yesterday's value was higher than the day before's. You know, and now we're into this range from the day of that weird double top. You know, here's something kooky. What if we just trade in this little chunk right here, building out value? It might annoy the hell out of everybody, but it is a possibility. Keep that in mind.
That's all right.
Straight up, almost like a trend day. Inside. So we basically have an inside trend day. I'm very curious to see what C opens and if we have any single prints. 15.
Probably flexible, man. Be
He's long at 02 and he's got his stop up at the EF high here. So he'll book profits. Even if he gets stopped out, it'll be a nice trade. Right. So we have an inside day, which has turned into a trend day. The sellers have gone to the Hamptons. Where do they go in the fall, rich people?
Florida.
Florida? Okay.
Well, I think so. There's, once the winter comes, there's a lot of snowbirds. Yeah, Naples.
Oh yeah, Naples. I hear it's really nice there.
Yeah, I live on the other side of the state. But yeah, Naples is nice.
So I am looking at staying above this EF top. Very curious to see in a minute now if we'll have any single prints.
Mm. It's been a couple days since we've had some singles
Yeah,
below.
it's been the week of double tops and no singles.
Yeah.
We had them on the 22nd. That was the last time, I think. So there we go. C period opens. And you will immediately want to, I'll put this on the chart for you guys so you can see the area. These are single prints. And that's what you're looking at when you collapse a profile, and they are an indication of strength. If these get filled and we come back into value, we'll have more rotation. Right? Single prints are a gap or a change of thinking in the middle of a trading day. So we have 2 ticks on the high, which is a proper high. It's very interesting. I know the natural was saying that he didn't like the charts because they were too marked up. Is anybody else having problem with the charting being marked up like this? Because I'm just really trying to show new to profile traders where all the references are.
Mm. I mean, I like it. I think it helps me like read
Okay.
things better. Yeah.
Okay, cool. When we do get into a trading range, we get a lot of lines because everything just gets really compressed, and it is sometimes that's why I like the bigger trading ranges, because your references get spread out a little bit. And what we're looking for now, folks, is we're going to look and see whether or not we can hold these single prints and how much of them will get traded through. If we don't get any of them traded through, this is telling me something. This profile will be telling me that this market is strong. Oh, sure. Hey, Prado, welcome to the room. Uh,
Pareto. Yeah.
that's a great suggestion. I will do that definitely.
What up, Pareto? Nah, I shout him out all the time. This is the first time I've seen him talk.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's been in the room. What up, Pareto? Nice to hear from you. I shout you out all the time. I don't.
Okay, Dino, thank you. I'll put that into a video.
Oh, Predio. Predio?
Predio, okay.
Predio. Oh, is that so? What happened? You didn't age gracefully? Nigga.
Yeah, it's because you're not in the boiler room, Gaspar. You're not whipping and driving them to the bid.
Predio, this guy.
Oh, congratulations.
Nice. Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Okay, into the singles.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, Predio. Just want to make sure I.
Hmm.
So I keep chewing into the singles.
Hmm.
There's that EF double top.
Isn't it a is it a
It is a
double?
good high. It's a good high. 2 ticks of excess. You got stopped out. They took your stop and bounced, right? Bastards.
That's tilting. That's always tilting.
Yeah, the GTFO taper. Yeah, that's a good spot. That's what happens when you show your bid, Dino. They stood on that one micro contract and bid the whole market up. Very, very interesting, folks. This is the curiosity of market profile. C period right to the tick of that EF top, right? If that doesn't show you how market profile can help and single prints are showing strength on the bounce up, way to go, Dino.
Well
This
done,
is the
Dino.
amazing thing. This is the amazing thing about profile. It's just amazing how much information you can get out of these crazy little letters.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
The other interesting thing is where it sold mechanically yesterday, it gets bought today. That's quite a thing for me when you look at these order flow levels.
So JJ Gappa asks, what should we be focusing on today?
Hey, what you want to focus on today is a breakout from yesterday's range, because despite all this action that we've had, single prints and one time framing up and, you know, a drive off the open, we are still inside yesterday's range,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if we get a bid and get outside yesterday's range, then I'm going to have some references up here to look at. One is this 19 3/4, where there's a poor high, and then we have single prints up here from, gosh, from quite a while ago, actually, right? And then I've got the all-time high as 30 3/4 or something like that, but it shows differently on Thinkorswim.
Hmm. The VPOC moved up.
Yes, they're buying it up here. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
yeah, they're definitely buying it. These single prints are holding, and they're using this as a kickstand up here. It's working very well. Yeah, you know, and I completely agree with you. I would love to take uh, the time and be able to look at equities using profile. I know people do it. I know Peter does it. You can see it on his tabs. You know, he'll have Amazon on market profile. It would be very, if anyone here is starting to play around with that, let me know. I'd love to see your charts. I know there are people who do it. I've just never had the time. And because I've been trading ES pretty much, that's the only thing I trade now, unless I'm consulting for clients on some of their harebrained schemes. I, you know, I only use, I've looked at oil and I've looked at the Russell with profile, and it's scary how, okay, thanks, Ben. That's fine. There are enough products for me to trade in the futures market that I don't need to trade stocks. I personally prefer futures, especially the S&P, because it is 500 stocks. I mean, it's weighted, of course, but I just find the price action and the predictability a lot of a lot more reassuring for me. Um, my level of confidence in taking trades and looking at the market using profile on futures is, it's the most confident I've ever been, and that's why I'm trying to teach and show you guys. I found it very difficult teaching equity trading. You know, everybody wanted me to teach them how to read a level 2, and it was one of the hardest things I've ever taught. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, guys. We'll have to find out. So far, those single prints are holding. Ray, I am going to leave this in your capable oatmeal covered hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eye on those single prints. Be right back.
All right, we're watching the single prints intently. Gonna make these shout outs real quick. Not trying to miss no action. Let's run down. Who do we got real quick? Yo, shout out to A Meat. What's up, brother? We already know who that it is, a front running Frenchman. What's up, Mo? Andy B Ball, Ben. What's up, Ben? You the man. Blair. What's going on, brother? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Cabbage. What's up, Chad? Chad, great trading today, man. I see you. Chris Hanks, DeGill, Davenport, Dino. Nice trade today, Dino. DLA, D Man, Domka, Doug, Dougie Fresh. What's up, Doug? Can we post profits or is that frowned upon? You gotta ask Jay. I mean, I think we're more into like you could let us know where you traded, like the good trades. But I mean, exact dollar amount, I don't know. I'm not sure. You could save that for Jay. But I mean, I think it's more important. Like, yeah, I think it's more important. Like, you could say where you traded, where you exited. I think that's more important, to be honest. Um, but yeah, going back into it. Ferv, what's up, Ferv? Gaz, Jem, George K, Greg, what's up, Vuk? We waiting for you to come back. IMR, Parallax, John Lake, Kev, KP, lowercase. What's up, lowercase? How's it going today? Yeah. Okay. Yep. What's up, Mac? What's up, Mac? That's two Macs. Mark. Ben hates the little gifts here. All right, we got it lowercase. I'm gonna take it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's like if you guys want to tilt Ben, you know how to. He can't stand the gifts. Uh, Mark PMC, what's up, Mark? Hey, Mac, you the man. Is that your setup you got right there? Your picture? What's up, Mervin? Mike J, Mike W, Nadia, beautiful Athens, living the life. What's up, Nando? Paul Pin, Peter M, Pradio. What's up, Pradio? Yeah, uh-huh. Pyro Davis. What up, Pyro? Ryzen, what's up? Seba, Steve, me, Sadir, Shushmit, 534 exclamation point. The natural. Oh, Seba. Nice to hear from you. Hope it's going well. Welcome. Hi, yes indeed. Still beautiful weather. I bet. I bet. The natural. What's up? Trader 888, Trader G, Wiley Coyote, Z Sean, and last but not least, Zero Suit. Shout out to everyone watching back on replay. Wish you could be here with us. But nonetheless, enjoy. What? Gappa? I didn't see you. You weren't on the list. Gappa, man, why are you you're appearing offline, man? How am I supposed to see? You're appearing offline, man. But shout out to Gappa. Come on, I ain't forget about you. Stay safe this weekend. I know you're gonna be wilding out at the clubs, throwing your pesos around, buying firework bottles. Just stay safe out there. Don't blow all your money yet, all right? But yeah, shout out to everybody in the room. I appreciate you guys. And all right. Oh wow, so we didn't get any lower. Don't worry. I don't know. I do worry, Gappa. I do worry. So yeah, we're all right. Wow, did not get any lower. Uh, I made a wire for funding yesterday. Okay. All right. Yeah, just don't chew into the bankroll, the trading bankroll. All right, so what are you guys thinking right now? I know my priorities. Good. Good. We gonna pushing up towards the previous high. Yep, there it is. Oh God. Took a long, yeah. You the man, Doug. Nice trade, Doug. I'm sure you're feeling great about that one. Beautiful. Wow. So what's the next target here? I have no idea. I mean, we haven't been up this high in a while. I mean, we don't really have any references up here, do we? I mean, someone tell me if we do. Nice trend day so far, huh? 3018 high from earlier days. Just front ran it. 318. So one was 2250. What's up, Jay? You back?
I leave you guys for what, 5 minutes, and you gap a market on me. Eh? Nice.
Yeah, it's because our shout outs were so potent today. It enthused the whole market.
Okay, so we have a I think it's from the 19th. We have that poor high.
The 19th
Yeah.
of this month?
No, of September.
September. Yeah, I was gonna say what?
Yeah.
I say we haven't been this high in a while.
Or is that what date is that? Friday the 20th. We have a poor high at 3018, and we just went and tagged it one tick over
Mm-hmm.
and back down. So we have a breakout now from an inside day. So my next reference. You okay there, Ray? Got so excited he dropped his cereal. We've got.
I don't eat cereal. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Nah, just strictly eggs and oatmeal in the morning. That's it.
Okay. So we have single prints, and that is from the 19th. And we have single prints from 23 and 3/4 up to 24 half. And then we also have, I do believe we have single prints from the, boy, when is this? This is back in July, from 30 1/4 to 30.27 half, somewhere in that neighborhood. So we are really, really running out of references here. We have good excess now on the high. We have a trend day up. Broke out of balance, Andy. Andy's our balance guy.
You're the balance guy, Andy. Holding long and strong, baby.
How's it feel to be long, Andy? Does it feel like you're cheating on your girlfriend?
Oh, He's got experience with that.
So you guys can see that this breath isn't really that great. You know, we have a nice trend day up, breaking out of balance just because there are zero sellers. There's no selling in the ES. Point of control needs to move up.
Internals, man. Internals. I'm scorned from the internals.
Well, you're not supposed to use them for trade location,
Exactly. That's why I don't even look at them anymore.
right? But if you do look at them, they're giving you a picture of what's going on in this market. One thing is, it's the lack of selling that's taking this market higher. That's also telling me that this market is going up on bad structure, right?
Mm,
Single prints, right? So it won't take much when the time comes to knock this thing down.
true.
Ah, what do we have here? Oh, interesting. China news on a Friday. Quelle surprise. You know, has nothing to do with the fact that we've been in this balance, right? Everybody's been accumulating, and now we break it out so we look like heroes because everything we bought down here is all marked up here on a Friday with China news. Cough, cough.
Nice one, Gappa. Nice trade.
Agendas? Manipulation?
Hmm.
Heaven forbid. Coming up on D period, let's see if we leave any single prints in C. The way they're doing it, it looks like we're going to leave some single prints in C now. Jeez. Uh, no, this is extended. This is extended. We have a breakout from balance. Oh, nice. That'd be nice to go to. So I'm looking at my chart, and I have a reference from the end of July, which is 30.19 3/4 right here. And that was when we started moving the market severely down, that's when we came off the all-time high, and then 30.19 and 3/4 was my reference. It was the high of the day on Wednesday, the 31st of August. I mean of July, sorry. That's why you'll notice I have this green line drawn here. Yeah, sporting events are definitely a little expensive, eh, Gappa? F1, football games. It's crazy. It's nice. NBA courtside is nice. I've gone to NBA courtside, not the Lakers, but when Vancouver had a team, and that was courtesy of somebody else, of course. When they had the Vancouver Grizzlies back in the day, Gappa. We have a poor high now.
You said you went to the Grizzlies, you said? Memphis?
They used to be in Vancouver. That's where they started out.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And there was a guy who actually he owned a brokerage firm, and he was dating this woman who had a sister, and he would give me like sporting tickets, opera tickets, whatever, to take the sister out and get her out of his hair. So I got to go to a lot of these really fancy things, like courtside seats at NBA games. I think they were like $500 a ticket or something like that.
Oh, wow. So the team didn't do well in Vancouver? People didn't go out?
I just don't think the city had the base to support it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a good turnout, but so we have one tick of excess, so we have a poor high. I'll be looking for support at the previous day high. Where are the Grizzlies now? Memphis?
I think Memphis. I think so.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Memphis.
Ever since I got into the market, I do not watch any sports. Barely. Trying to watch football this year, but it's not holding my attention. Come on.
God, does anyone else have like a hard time moving their references when they're all like next to each other?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I can't like grab it. I'm trying to. Okay, there it is.
Yeah. It helps if you use a mouse instead of a trackpad.
No, I do use a mouse.
Yeah.
God, imagine trying to trade with a trackpad. What? Oh, people do that?
Oh, some people do. So it definitely looks like we have some acceptance over 3,000 now. We have acceptance over 3,004. Right? Now, can we stay above that high? Will we fill these single prints? Let's see now.
Jay, I got a question. So right now, right? Like you see where the what the point of control is at 09. How is that determined as the point of control? Where there's other obviously it's only too wide. There's other places that are too
That's
wide.
that's what I wanted to ask Sierra Chart when I talked
Okay.
to them.
Yeah.
If it's a timing thing, because we're only 3 minutes into D period, so
It's like the
maybe
volume
that's
is low there too. It
yeah.
looks like.
hmm
I don't know, just so you don't know either.
I don't know. You would think the point of, I mean, we're only 2 TPOs wide down at 3,009 and a quarter,
Hmm.
where it's indicating it, and we're 2 TPOs wide here, but we're only 2 TPOs wide for 34 minutes
Yeah.
as opposed to an hour, right? That's the only thing I can think of,
Sure.
right?
Hmm.
But I would love to talk to a spokesman from Sierra. They
Yeah.
ever returned a
Good
phone
luck. Yeah.
call?
Good. Yeah. Good luck.
You know,
Yeah. You busted my balls like because I'm not a tech guy or something. My God, that's not it.
maybe we should have we had, you know, Moya Daga call him up?
Oh yeah. Come on.
Where's the
You
angel?
thought you thought I was tilting my face off. You should. I'm begging them on Twitter now to return our calls. Yeah. I don't know. They act like they're big shots. Like you can't even get into the real people. You know what I mean? You just get like support people. Or at least that's what I'm assuming. You can just tell they're not astute business, you know.
They make beautiful software. We should find out who owns them and buy it. Okay, 17 and 3/4. I wonder what they charge for it. Yeah, just buy the whole thing out.
Let's just do it.
I mean, you could.
You gonna pitch in, Andy?
No. We use OPM money.
Yeah, Andy's.
Well, hey, Andy comes from Rockefeller,
Would you waive our monthly fees?
the Rockefeller family fortune.
Yeah, for the chart. Yes, Andy. I think that's the least we could do for you.
That's what I used to do before. My old boss actually started 2 financial software companies, Alpha Trade and QuoteStream.
Yeah, it slowed up a little bit, Chad. Yeah. So I'm glad I got out. I hate being in a trade when you get stuck in this slow action.
So we have a poor high, only 1 tick of excess, 2 sets of single prints.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I like hang on every like tick movement.
Yeah,
It messes, you know.
it does. It messes with your head.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions about this kooky trend day break from balance? The one trade I was thinking of taking, and a good thing I didn't take it, was shorting value area high or shorting 311 at that PM high. When it started hanging there, I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Didn't have the presence of mind to get long 311 though. Yes, Chad. There is a specific reason why, because it's Friday, right? And all these guys have been sitting there the entire week, right, getting abused by traders saying, oh, the bulls aren't doing anything, and they've been quietly sucking in all this stock and buying it on the bids and buying up whatever that there is. And today what they're doing is this is called a marking up of positions in the entire market, right? So we're long, now we look smart. Not necessarily, right? You got to understand these aren't day traders, right? These are people who have been building a position, right? Dynamic traders, yeah. So now we have repaired our poor high. We have 4 ticks of excess. I'm using references now from July, okay, because we are back in very, very thin air. There's not much trading here, right? Be aware if you are short this market going into month end, okay? Yeah. I'm gonna go off screen here for just a second to show you guys something. Be very aware of something. Once we get over the 30-20s, be very, very careful if you're shorting this market because there is nothing up here. This is uncharted territory. There is no overhang, right? What the people who bought here and bought here, they have been flushed out. There are not very many people who have a cost basis up here that are long that are going to come in and start selling. Okay. If this market, if earnings turn out to be fairly decent and the Federal Reserve does whatever the heck people are thinking it's going to do or hoping it's going to do, be very careful. All right. Because we have, they say look to the left. Do you see anything on the left? Right? Once we get over, 30-30, right? There's nothing except thin air.
Whee!
Exactly. So be very, very careful. I have some levels calculated here that may be helpful. But just watch out. We've got nothing but thin air up here. We have nothing but thin air. We have fund managers who are motivated to mark up these positions before they get bonused out at the end of the year, right? Remember trading places. Everybody wants the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip, right? If you don't make your Christmas bonus of $30 million, how are you going to buy presents for your wife and children, right? That new Gulfstream is out too, all right? Don't laugh. These are motivations.
Yeah. No, Davis, someone else asked me if I saw that movie, and I was like, "Yo, what the hell?" Like, I'm the
It
only one
is
who
the
hasn't.
best trading movie ever. It sums up everything in this industry. It sums up the way people treat each other. It sums up how people think. It sums up how the brokerage houses are the only ones who make commissions at the end of the day. Yeah.
So, JJ,
Yeah.
what should I be looking for, right? If I well, one, chances that there's a correction to inventory today at some point in the afternoon, or
Oh, yeah. We're one time framing up. I would look for, usually we stop one time framing I think is in G and H period.
okay.
Right. I just am not seeing any selling right here.
No.
And I thought we'd have a nice balanced rotational day, maybe go up to 3014, get a little responsive selling, go back down, flip it in, flip it out. Here we get a trend day up, and it's not even month end, right? So am I a little caught off guard? I had these references from July drawn out a couple of days ago, actually. Uh, and then I thought we'd kind of have more rotation and more waiting until the Fed. So was I caught unprepared for this move? Slightly, yeah, definitely, right? Um, I honestly thought we'd see a little bit more balance before the Fed, but we don't really have much to chew through. There is no trading history. I'll take a
Is is some of this like the shorts getting trapped or?
oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
definitely. Right? When you see emotional buying like we're seeing right now, when you see single prints, this isn't people buying because they want to. This is people buying because they have to. They're getting bought in.
Yeah.
These are buy-ins or forced short covering.
Yeah.
This is not your friendly neighborhood, you know, mutual fund manager buying stock because he wants to, right?
Nice,
Nice
Andy.
trade, Andy. So we are over that 19 and 3/4. Dear God, help these shorts if we get up to the all-time highs today. This is scary. I've got to say this because everybody I know has been short biased for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And what have I been saying over the last couple of days, right?
Mm-hmm.
When these talking heads, when they start talking about, you can see human nature change. You can see these guys going from fear to greed. It doesn't take much, right? It doesn't take much, right? We have flushed this market thoroughly. It's like wringing out a towel with water, right? So now I am targeting these single prints. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Jesus.
Jesus.
It's,
He sounds like the guy in Zoolander, Mugatu.
oh my
Dear,
God.
dear God, it's beautiful.
Oh God, I love that movie. Oh my God.
It is beautiful. There is nothing in the world that is better than a short squeeze, especially if you're the one doing the squeezing. You know, everyone is very, very, very short. Everyone is getting squeezed. Look at the breadth. We have an advanced decline line of plus 579. That is nothing. They are doing this completely without any natural selling. Amazon is down only $36 now. Okay. If anyone doubts the power of the bid in this market, you're witnessing it now. This is what happens when there are trillions of dollars sitting around with nothing to do. Thank you, Mac. There is no volume. We are not even at 500,000 contracts at almost 11:30. Yeah, there's no trade location now, Chad. We're just watching. We're extending the range, and we're building out some references for next week right now. I might look at a trade when we get an inventory correction, right? You know, a long or a short off of that. Right now, I'm just letting the market do its thing, let it talk to me. I was not smart enough to get long and notice a trend day early, right? So there are two rules of trading a trend day. One is don't fade a trend day, don't short a trend day, don't try and get in front of it, right? And if you can't do that, then get the hell out of the way and sit on your hands.
Well, let me ask you something, because this is what I've been thinking, right, on the trend days. Is that like I've been trying to be too exact with like the location, where it's like if you just hop on, you make money. It's that simple. I
Well,
mean, not to simplify
I
it, not
know,
to
I know,
simplify
I
it like
know.
that, but you get what I'm saying. It's like maybe don't be so
Yes.
exact on a trend day. Just get on.
Exactly. That is a very, very, very hard thing, and that's something I struggled with. And I've always had a hell of a time trading a trend day, right? Because I'm a number one, I'm a skeptic, right, when it comes to the market, because I know I used to be a manipulator. So it's very hard to trust that you're seeing a trend day. The other
Right.
thing is lately we've had trend days that fail,
Yeah.
right? One time frame up, then we one time frame down, then he tweets, right? So it's been very hard to sort of get a sense of that. Now, had I been intelligent, I would have gotten long off these singles or these singles. That is how you trade a trend day, right?
Yeah.
And because it's Friday and because I am not mentally on it, I should have been telling you people this, and I apologize for that, right? But when you see single prints, they are a sign of strength. So trend day, first of all, we have a drive from the open, right? One tick below the open, couldn't take out the overnight low. The trade was to the upside always, right? Because I was thinking value area low to value area high. And I thought that'd be a great trade. Then we broke out of value and we broke out of yesterday's range. Look where the single prints are, right? This will tell you. Remember I was saying, I'd be kind of nervous being short here because I was thinking about shorting. And these single prints, they tell us that all the knuckleheads like me that went short at value area high got bought in. Same here. Look at where the single prints are. It's not coincidental. They're right at yesterday's high and they're right at value area high, right? Here's where profile will tell you stuff that nothing else will. You have an emotional trade out of value. You have an emotional trading out of range. This is short covering, right? This is like, these are like, like a flashing warning sign not to be short, right? To get long, right? Getting long off singles, right? This is how you interpret structure, right? So from now on, actually, Ray, what we should do is, I'll actually write up today. So you guys have a reference, right? These are things that you definitely want to see. It's not coincidental that the single prints are at these references. Into the single prints, good God. 2-to-1 breath, eh? Up 20 handles. How
Wow.
do you like me now? Remember, I've been warning, and I don't mean to sound like one of those people. Oh, I drew them in, Mark. If you replay the thing, you just go to Tools, Rectangle, and just like that. Everything I do is manual. So we got one tick into the single prints, a little bit of responsive selling. These
Jay,
are the only references we have here. Yep.
talk me out of like just hopping on right now, because I'm
Hopping on
like
what?
just going long. Just talk
No,
me out
no,
of it
no,
right now.
man. This is not a trading time for you. Right?
Okay.
We missed it. We have missed the trade. right?
Yeah, but I've been
Dude, the
saying
bus, the bus
that for the
came.
past half hour.
Yeah, that's a trend day, man. Now you're gonna kick yourself. Now you're gonna go to the bar or wherever it is that you meet those Cuban ladies,
Oh
and
yeah. Uh-huh.
they're gonna ask you. They're gonna go, "Oh, the Dow was up 300 points today. You must have made a lot of money,
And I'm gonna tell them,
right?
you're right, I did. Yeah.
Right? A short to previous day high here?
You're crazy, Mark. You're wilding, man. What are you thinking?
No, I can't short one time framing higher,
Yeah. Good
right?
luck.
And I can't short against single prints, right? But thank you for your bravery.
And watch, it's gonna work.
And it'll work probably, but
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
It's gonna
I
work.
I don't I can't short single prints and I can't short one time framing higher, right? Um,
Yeah. You gotta have some stones to short this right now.
yeah, or know something, right? That the market isn't telling you, right? Like you have some sort of secret, super secret NSA news. Um, something's gonna happen. Maybe he's NSA. Who knows?
Hey, you NSA, Mark?
You never know. There was this one guy that was in another trading room, and this guy would come on every once in a while, and he'd say, "There's going to be a time quake 2 weeks from now at this time," and the market would do this weird thing. I never knew what the hell he meant or where he got his information, but some weird occurrence would happen, like when he said it would. It was really, really creepy. We are in those single prints. This thing's just powering. Yeah. Ray, yeah, you missed the trade. You missed the trade. I missed the trade, right? We're just,
Well, I mean, I did have two successful trades, so at least I caught a
okay.
little bit,
Yeah,
just not
yeah,
a
you
big,
caught a little. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
just
that's
not a big
fine.
chunk. Yeah.
You're getting what do you guys call that? FOMO or something like
FOMO.
that?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
right.
Yeah. I mean, look at this.
Which
Look
should
at
be
it.
foaming of the mouth, right?
Yeah. Look at this. It's not just not stopping. Like a dummy could trade this.
Yeah, that's sure. 3 easy setups.
Just
And
buy. Just
just
buy
buy
it.
it and don't use a stop,
Just buy. Yeah.
you know?
It's that easy.
And I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona for you.
Oceanfront property in Arizona. Is that yeah, that's where Candy got his house, right? Right on the
Yeah.
water.
All right. So we are in to the single prints of back in July.
Did you short, Mark? That's true, Gappa. But what am I going to tell the Cuban ladies, Gappa? They're going to clown on me.
That's okay. A little humility every once in a while won't kill you. There's no supply.
That's good to hear, Mark.
All right. We took out all of this and all of this. There is no overhang. People were shorting this, thinking that we were done when we dipped down.
Man, we got to be close, Andy, I think, right?
We're damn close. What is all-time high on Thinkorswim? I think they mark it at 30.29 and a half, right? And I have it marked as 30.30, and I guess it's how they calculate the contract. I have it marked as 30.30 and 3/4. So we are spitting distance from that. Thanks, Ray.
You're welcome. I was just for the sound effects.
Of course.
And now you got me self-conscious now when I go to the bar with the Cuban ladies. God.
Well, hey. Jeez. I'll cut and paste what I have from those fateful days back in July. So these single prints here are what you're seeing here.
All right, well, we got the new period opening up here. Have some more singles.
Sorry, guys. I'll get you a chart with some numbers on the side. How about that?
Yeah.
It'd be a little bit more useful.
Okay. So JJ, did you sign the petition to for
Oh,
the
for the
PDT rule?
PDT?
Yeah, did you sign it, man?
No. No, I did not. Number one, I'm not a U.S. citizen.
This shit's
Right.
never even gonna get like that's not even gonna
Right.
pass though. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're not a U.S. citizen. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. They don't care what I think.
I care what you think, Jay.
Oh, I can, I see it. I see the greed in the market. I see fractional trading of shares, the micro contracts. They're trying to get the retail back in the market, right?
Uh-huh.
Trying to get rid of the PDT rule, the pattern day trade rule, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what happens when they're trying to herd the retail back into the market?
Oh well, yeah. So you degenerates can go trade the penny stocks. Yeah. So that's what started a bunch of degenerates. You know what I saw someone say, Jay? They said it's forcing people to trade riskier securities such as futures.
Yeah, sure. Well, futures are risky if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm sorry, folks. It's all the cold medicine I'm on. Um, but no, seriously. I mean, futures. I mean, you could blow up 25 grand in a day without even blinking an eye if you're a futures trader. If you don't know what you're doing, right? On a day like this, they'll be shorting. I've seen newer traders coming into a day like this and just shorting the hell out of it. Right? Oh, it's over. Oh, short some more, short some more, short some more. Right?
Yeah.
Just keep banging away on it until it's done. Right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, margin call, your account's closed, and that's it. Have a nice day.
Hmm.
So yeah, futures trading is risky. We're trading something with a $40 day trade margin that has what a notational value of 150 grand or something like that. Right? So yeah, we're using insane amounts of leverage. Right?
Hmm.
That's why I tell people to use market profile, right? Because it'll keep you, right? Even though we are not long and we're not millionaires and we're not going to the Lamborghini dealership this afternoon after the close, we are still smart enough not to get in front of this train and short it. And I will bet you, I know at least 10 guys who are short and offside right now, right? And sorry, not
Oh.
talking about people in this room. I'm talking about my knucklehead friends,
Oh.
right? who don't use who don't use profile, right? I know I have buddies who are short this move, right?
I'm short and onside. Yeah. Couldn't help it, Andy. I knew you couldn't help seeing a move this big. You got to short it.
He made money going long, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I see another third set of single prints holding so far, right? We're only 4 minutes in, right? Oh, we're over 500,000 contracts. Yippee.
The volume is the worst all week today.
Today, yeah, this week's volume has been just abysmal, right? It has been really crappy.
No, but today's not the lowest, is it?
I don't know. I haven't kept track of it. You know. Yeah, I'm not stepping in front of this with size, right? Once again, that area of 30.19 and 3/4, which was the 31st when all this whole thing fell apart, right? Guess what? There were stops here. Like, these are all stop runs. These are stop runs which are helping push the trend,
Mm.
right? Very, very difficult, you know, to get ahead of. But what you guys want to start looking at when you start looking at a market is, if you're going to trade this market, you came into the market this morning, right? And this is something that I wasn't prepared for, and I apologize, but I will write this up. I think this is very important, is to look at the structure and go, okay, if we get over value area high, are there going to be some stops? If we get over this area, are there going to be some stops? Meaning, will people who are short, will they have buy stops a few ticks above these very visual references, right? And if we get above them, how is the market going to react? This is how you want to start thinking, right? This is what will save you from getting short in front of a train. This is what will make you money from being able to recognize a trend and get on it, right? I'll be very honest and tell you that today I was not expecting a trend day up, right? Therefore, my preparation was incomplete. Oh, it ran the stops with no volume? Who's buying? It's dynamic traders, DLA, right? It's those big pools of money, right? There are people who trade with large, large pools of money, and they're the ones who can bid a market up, right? Also remember, as Davis says, you know, money is coming into this market on a daily, monthly basis from people's retirement plans. All that stuff doesn't stop. That money gets put to work, right? So you have that money, say you have long-term money, right? Think of it this way. If long-term money is buying every month, you have a bid underneath the market, right? It's like having a kickstand underneath a motorcycle. It holds it up while you work on it, right? And so the big long-term money is holding the market up, and the large pools of sort of speculative money, right? Money that trades on a shorter time frame. Those dynamic pools of money will push the market up like it did today. So what I'm going to talk about is looking at single prints around very visual references. And why do we have single prints around these references? Well, we have single prints because it's emotional buying. What is emotional buying? You hear about all these things. Emotional buying is like, oh God, I'm short, I got to cover. That's emotional buying, right? Not emotional buying's not, oh, I'm going to add to my position here and I've thought this out methodically, and when the price gets here, I'm going to add. That's not emotional buying, right? So this is what these single prints mean. These single prints, we can sort of categorize them as, holy crap, I got to cover. I got to cover. I got to cover. Oh boy, I really got to cover.
Hmm.
Right? Does everybody kind of see what that means? And you see why they're not in these specific, they're in these specific places, not by coincidence? Okay, cool. Good. I don't think I've ever heard anyone explain single prints that way. And people always ask me what the significance is of single prints, and and people will say, oh, it's emotional buying, and that's kind of like a blanket response. But what is emotional buying? Emotional buying is, holy crap, I'm short, I gotta buy this in before I wipe out my account. That's emotional buying. So when do we stop one time framing? That's number one question.
Mm-hmm.
When we do stop one time framing, what are we going to look for? We're going to look to see how much of these single prints get filled, if any.
So for us to stop one time framing, we would have to take out these low by 2 ticks.
Yeah.
So wouldn't we fill the singles
Or
then? That would.
F. Oh no. I mean, say F opened up here. It
Okay.
has to
Yeah.
take
Okay.
out,
Yeah.
it has to take out E by 2 ticks.
Right. Right.
So it would have to get 1, 2 here,
Gotcha.
right? And then if it stops one time framing, that's cool, all well and good. But do we fill the single prints? Right? If we stop one time framing and we fill the single prints, then you will want to look to see the second single prints, right? So how do you trade that? What does this all mean, right? If we go down and say we stop one time framing, but we don't fill all of these single prints, that is your indication to get long off of them. Well, if DLA, you're a bad influence. If E, say if F period opens up, okay, F period opens and stops one time framing, means it gets down and takes out this level here. Yeah, sorry guys. Right at 22 and a quarter, right? Say we get down to 22, 21, 21 half. If we do not come down and fill all these single prints down to 18 quarter, say if it comes down to 19 3/4, 20, you'll want to take a long off of the single prints back to the upside. Does that make sense? That's how you trade single prints. Right. And because we are at new levels, right, you want to make sure that you use good stops. Be careful here because we are very, very close to all-time highs. Oh yeah, yeah. We easily could have 3 sets of singles on a trend day like this and have very poor structure. And then we would look next week to see if we fill those singles. So it will give us, so while today doesn't give us, maybe if you missed the long trade early, right, like I did, right, and maybe if I don't get any trades in on that inventory correction that I'm expecting in G and H sometime, right, I will look to next week and I will use these single prints as structure to trade off of. Have we reached the up of this upper balance? We're pretty darn close, Andy. You know, we topped out at 6.5, and I've got the all-time high as 30 3/4. Thinkorswim has the all-time high as 30.29. I mean, 30.29 half. Let me draw that in here. I think that's 30.29 half. Yeah, right there. So there it is. Okay, so these single prints held. So getting long off these would not have been a bad idea. Right? That's how you want to trade single prints. Amazon's only down 20 bucks now. Pretty amazing. Every time this market falls apart, they just bid it right back up. Oh, thanks, Andy. Where do you trade out of that you can get TPO on equities? If you don't mind us asking. Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, really? So I could take my Thinkorswim data feed and stick it into Sierra chart? Whoa, okay. There goes another weekend. So we only have 3 ticks on that high now, guys. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, that's a downer, Mark. Guys, Gappa, can you guys take that to the off-topic thing? Yeah, no problem, no problem. I know it's exciting. I just don't want the new people to be all confused because we're talking throwing equities into a profile. A bit of back and forth here. Dow's back over 27,000. Thanks, Mark. So if you folks are wondering what's going on, we're basically just trading in and out of this structure here. And that's going all the way back to July. You guys have any questions? Anything unclear about what happened today? I will write this day up like I wrote up that day that I posted in the training docs. I think with 3 sets of single prints and having one, two, three, 4 distributions, it'll be an interesting day, and also how the single prints came into play and where they came into play and how that affects our thinking. This is a really, really good teaching day. And you'll see that, people who are new to the room, they'll be like wondering what's going on and stuff like that. And Ray and I will be doing some videos this weekend. That's for sure. Maybe like a brief video on references, Ray? What do you think?
Yeah, whatever you think.
You know, we could just have that, and then I'll write up today. So until we stop one time framing, until we start filling in some of these single prints, I am not thinking to short it. What I am looking at is I'm looking at a long play. If we come down and try and fill some of these single prints, and always remember, guys, if you have any suggestions on what you would like to see, things you would like explained, direct message any of us, put it in chat. This room has only been going for a couple of months now, and it's an evolving process. And I really want you guys to make sure that you get your money's worth. So any feedback on, if you think something's lacking, something's missing, something I could be explaining better. I do really apologize for my lack of prep for today. And but I will make sure that this gets written up properly so we have a good reference on how to trade these single prints, because this won't be the last time we see this. If this market hits new highs, then I would expect I would expect them to get excited and carried away with it. We've really shaken this market out quite a bit, and we've really taken pretty much every single last seller out of the market by cleaning it in August, and then once again in this move here. My goodness, this end of September move. I mean, if everybody wasn't out here, they really shook them out here. This is very penny stockish, this sort of back and forth. And here we go. 2 ticks of excess. Right, the bids, if you look at the tick today, look at that tick since the open. We have not had very many negative closing ticks at all on a 3-minute scale. On a 15-minute scale, we've only had 3 closing ticks under 0. Right. So these are sort of tells that you use for the internals to keep you from shorting and getting caught short in the hole. Have a good workout.
Right. Pretty yo.
Have a great weekend. Be safe. When you get out of the gym, we'll probably be at an all-time high.
Yeah, that's why I trade from the gym.
Yes, he does.
Make sure I never miss a nice reverse trampoline play.
Yes. While doing hot yoga
Yeah.
and Pilates.
Pilates. On the beanbag chair. Yes. You got to get one, Andy. They're making a comeback. Yeah. Oh, you're. What happened? What happened to your 3-legged chair? It down the 2 legs?
And he spent all his money on guitars.
Yeah, that happens.
It's the only reason I'm a trader is because I couldn't play tenor sax. So,
You couldn't play the saxophone?
No, not to any level of professional quality. Otherwise, I'd probably be a musician myself. Trend days are hard to trade. They look so easy after the fact, don't they?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, you should have just bought it at the open. I knew this market was going to break higher. I just didn't know when. I thought they were going to save this till next week, but that's their job, is to surprise us. Oh, cool. Mac, do you know if they run those? Do they run those on the half hour or the hour? I don't know anything about buy programs. Ouch. Interesting. Thank you guys for being in the room. Thank you very much for a really wonderful week. Please message me, let us know, reach out if you need anything. I will see you guys at the close. Thanks, Peter. I'll get the cold out of the way for this winter anyway. Be careful out there. Use your stops. And don't drink and trade. Mahalo.
Don't drink and trade. Yep.
Well, it's Friday. It's good to say. Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Talk to you soon.